What's up, guys? It's Dave here from Airsoft GI, and today we're going to answer one of the biggest questions that we get in our store ever. Is Airsoft a sport? No, and that doesn't mean that it's not an athletic activity, but what is Airsoft really, and why would I say something so outlandish like Airsoft is not a sport? You see us call it the sport all the time. You always hear people say, oh yeah, I'm selling my stuff, man. I'm getting out of the sport. Or like just goofy sayings like that would lead you to believe Airsoft is in fact a sport. But I would counter that it is not. It is a game, it is a hobby, it's an athletic recreational activity, but none of these things make it a sport. So let's get into it in the following 3 points, shall we? Point one. Our first point is that Airsoft isn't really organized in any kind of competitive way. You don't have to be a member of a team, you don't have to be a part of a league, and there's not really any kind of competition that says, nope, you're going to come here, you're going to play in this league, you're going to score these points, you're going to be ranked against other teams, and at the end of it, we're going to give you all a trophy. These are the things that are kind of like definite trappings to being a sport, like playing basketball or playing American football, right? There's no Lombardi trophy at the end of this. You're not going to walk away with the Stanley Cup. There's nothing like that as far as Airsoft is concerned. Sure, you've got Speed QB tournaments, but that's such a small niche of the Airsoft world overall that really we would argue that that is one of the main reasons why it's not a sport. But I did say there were 3 points, didn't I? Let's get to point two. Airsoft is a hobby. And when I say hobby, I don't just mean like it's a hobby to go out and play. What I mean by that is that if Airsoft were a sport, the sole focus, everything that you would possibly be doing when it comes to participating in the game of Airsoft, or the sport of Airsoft, if it were a sport, would be about playing the game. But that's not everything that Airsoft encompasses, is it? Right? You get the collecting aspect of it, the customizing aspect of it, the guys that just want to sit there and be armchair commando chair softers on the internet and tell you, oh man, well, you know, such and such YouTuber did it better than you did, and well, I know because I'm an expert. So all of those things kind of coalesce, right? You could compare this to other games that are also hobbies of a sort, like Warhammer 40K or guys that play competitive esports, right? Unless you're in that top tier. Those guys that are playing Hearthstone for thousands and thousands of dollars, right? You're not in a sport, period. I don't care who you are. It's not a sport. It's not esports because you stream on Twitch. It's esports when you walk away with a whole living to play it. It's not professional. None of us are doing this for money. I work at a dang Airsoft store, and I don't play Airsoft for money. So, with that being said, the hobby aspect of it, right? The guys that just like to build cool guns and hang them on their wall. The guys that just like to build awesome kits that recreate stuff they saw in like historical documentaries or things they saw in video games or movies. The cosplayers, right? All of those guys mean that by definition, there are ways to participate in the hobby of Airsoft that aren't playing Airsoft. There are even those guys that go out that don't even play necessarily. Everything to them is work. It's all about training. You're buying that Glock so that you can go get your concealed carry practice on, or because you're a police officer, military, whatever, private security guys that just want to get some training and get better without spending a bunch of time behind an actual firearm on an actual range, because that's expensive and sometimes it's just cost prohibitive. So, because Airsoft is a hobby, it is by definition not a sport. Let's get on to the third one, shall we? So, I did say there were 3 points, and the third point is, at the end of the day, we're all just BB LARPing. Think about it. When you go out to the field to go play with your friends and go sling some plastic, all you're really doing is playing soldier on the weekends, right? We're all out there wearing the cool camos. We're not doing this for real. There's no points, there's no score, there's no nothing, none of that stuff, right? You show up by yourself, the field admin's gonna put you with the team and say, all right, you're on this team, you're shooting at that team, here's your objective, go have fun. We're all LARPing. None of us are actually participating in anything with any real consequence. There's no stakes, there's no jobs, there's no money, none of that on the line when you go hit the Airsoft field. And that, by definition, makes things not a sport. So that begs the eternal question, what is Airsoft? So, what is Airsoft if it's not a sport then? Well, we've already covered that it is a non-competitive, recreational hobby where all of us are just going out having a good time BB LARPing. Airsoft is an athletic activity that you do outdoors. If those two things aren't a sport, you can go get into like disc golf, and I would argue that disc golf is a game and not a sport. We're out there LARPing. We don't call LARPers sports people. They're not necessarily athletes, although what they're doing could be construed as athletic depending on the context. I am sure that it takes a lot of arm strength to go magic missile. However, that doesn't make it a sport. So what better word describes Airsoft than hobby? To me, that's what makes Airsoft what it is. There's so much more to it than just hitting the field, going out to go play, and shooting at your friends and calling it a day and having some barbecue after, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, I get a lot of enjoyment out of just sitting home and tricking out my 416 and looking at it and going, oh yeah, that's awesome. Because I don't get to go play Airsoft 7 days a week. But when I get home from work after a long day, it does feel nice to get on this thing and just pop a couple of shots off, or, you know, put that new piece of gear that I bought on there over the weekend on it and make sure it's all set up right, or take some cool photos of it. There's a lot of things you can do to engage in the sport of airsoft that don't require you to play airsoft. And that, by definition, means no, airsoft isn't a sport, despite what you might have told your parents to justify your crazy addiction. We're all hopelessly addicted here, and I hope you guys stick around. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys click that like button, click that subscribe button, hit that share button, send this to all your friends so you can talk all kinds of smack and watch them get all twisted because Papa Dave is being a troll, or, you know, whatever it is you guys think. Make sure, though, most importantly, you guys see that little bell notification icon down there at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead and ring it, click it, ding our dong, so you guys get the first notification every time we upload a video. My name's Dave. We'll see you guys next time.